Okay, everybody, this is kind of a test run again. After all this time, I'm still trying to dial in the microphone setting on my GoPro. Just having a lot of trouble with it. I had the best run when I made that video about the TW in the Capitol Forest, and then after that something happened and all my audio quality has just been basura, just absolute trash. Just getting all this wind noise and nothing but, you know, static and wind. So just trying out a few different things here. I just changed the camera out, and then I thought it might be the audio cable, the one that actually plugs into the GoPro. And yes, I am using an older GoPro, a Hero 3 Plus, but up until now I haven't really had any problems with it. So I'm hoping that the issue with it is the audio cable. So we'll see. The other GoPro that I was using, it took quite a bit of abuse. 2 or 3 rainy nights, and that Capitol Forest ride of the TW was pretty epic, to say the least. So hopefully this turns out, and if anything, I think it might be the wind noise coming from the bottom of my helmet or the front, but I closed that vent off, so I'm just running some tests, just running some different things and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't work. So we'll see. So what I got going on today is gotta go buy some spray paint for the TW. I took the gas tank off. If you watched my last video, I had to take the gas tank off to do some repair on it. Not the tank itself, but the paint job. It was looking like Jabroni Central. So I took it off, sanded it down, and primed it and sanded off all the rust off it because it's a plastic tank. And well, we'll go from there. And this time I'm just going to use straight Krylon paint. Last time I used a combination of Krylon and Plastidip, and I'm thinking that was the reason for the air bubbles that were always coming up, and I was cutting out of the thing. So we'll see about that. So I sanded down the cart tank, primed it with a can and a half of sandable primer paint, wet sanded the finish down to something smooth, and on my way back to one of the Lowe's in town to exchange the paint and do the Krylon tan. Hopefully that's the one, or hopefully I can find the right one. I actually was experimenting with some of that furniture paint that you can spray on outdoor furniture and give it that rough matte look, sort of like a spray liner, bed liner look. And I can safely say don't use it. Not on plastic anyways. It came out like absolute garbage. I'm sure on metal and maybe wood flat surfaces it would do good, but it came out horrible, and I ended up, like I said, sanding it down, and I brought it back down to the white plastic that it originally came with, and gonna go back with just a spray paint tan. Man, can't believe that. I got a green light onto that one. Nice. I've been toying with the idea of selling some of my toys, and then when it gets down to it, you know, I have people coming and looking at things, and a lot of them are just tire kickers, and I can understand that. And then I'm thankful that they just are not interested at the moment, or just can't afford my price. And I was toying with the idea of selling one of the Ruckuses, and just seeing them as a pair, I just go, oh man, I can't break them up, man. They're like the dynamic duo. Even though I haven't done any real, you know, dual riding with somebody, I just, it's just one of those things, I just like looking at them. You know, when you start collecting stuff, a lot of times that's what you just do, just look at stuff. It's like being a collector of stuff like anime stuff, or like I have a bunch of comics, or say you're a Star Wars buff, Mandalorian and Boba Fett. You know, you just want to, you know, do your thing and reminisce and look at that kind of stuff. Plus, I'm not going to lie, with gas prices, even in this small town, man, it sucks. And these Ruckuses are notorious for getting 95 to 100 miles per gallon. That's like a keeping point. You would think it would be a buyer, you know, seller buying point, but it just makes me want to keep it even more. Caboose has a rockin' little DT50 that is kind of the same concept. It's a 50cc enduro dual sport dirt bike, and it's a 6-speed transmission, just a little firecracker. And we've never toyed with the idea of selling that one. I brought it up to him once, and he looked at me like I had a unicorn horn growing out of my forehead. He said, "No way, man." Nice of her.
So even though I fixed the audio problem, I really didn't know if it had worked. I cut the audio off because upon playback, I didn't realize how much I was sniffling and coughing into the microphone. And in case you missed it in my last video, check out this handy dandy U-bolt holder. I had to move the Ruckus a little closer to the shopping cart return if I was going to use the U-bolt and the cable lock. And a little word of advice, if you're going to use one of these master U-bolt locks, pass it from the right side to the left side. That way, the muffler's not getting in your way.
Okay, so the paint exchange went easily enough. The problem is I just don't know if this paint is the right paint. Only time will tell. I don't know, being pro, or I don't know, just maybe being a nervous person about it. But with these gas prices, man, people are stealing gas at, you know, just brazenly stealing gas, man. It's freaking crazy. That I can't imagine, you know, someone bold enough to steal gas right out of a car. I'm sure they've got no problem stealing a little Honda Ruckus scooter. So I'm not going to make it easy for them, you know, make them work for it. If they're going to take it and they get it, at least I made them work for it. Alrighty. Let's head back to Vault Explorer's headquarters and see if we can't get this TW painted up and back on the road. They're doing some training out here. That's pretty awesome. That is awesome. Good for them. Yeah, my microphone seems to work pretty well when it's stationary. No matter what cord I use, whether it was that Bose cord or the kind of the one I bought off of Amazon. There's, just doing some research, Purple Panda, if you guys heard of that one, let me know. But I'm thinking about trying that one out just in case it's just the power cord or the audio cable or microphone cable. But I also, like I said, switched out the audio cable that actually plugs into the GoPro side there. Maybe that's the culprit. Maybe it was the GoPro. Maybe I just suck. Can't do anything right. We'll figure it out sooner or later, though. Boy, this thing is a stickler for the rules, man. 35 is 35. There is nothing past that. So now that I'm more cemented in my decision to keep the Ruckuses, I think I'm going to plan on upgrading one of them with the variators. Try to get a little extra speed out of it. And hopefully that'll increase the power a little bit for uphill. I don't need a bunch of speed. I don't need to be doing, 50 miles an hour. 40 to 45 would be sweet. I love getting away from motorcycle riders. It's pretty cool still. If they only knew what else I ride. But yeah, I would like to get just a little bit out of this, and I'm hoping the variator is the way to go. I'm definitely not going to be doing an exhaust. That is just not my cup of tea, governor. Just not going that route. I don't like loud. I don't need loud and obnoxious or a sporty sound. Stock exhaust, if it works, it works. That's just kind of my thing. I rolled some dice and took some chances with that DG exhaust for the TW, but that's probably the first time ever I've modified any exhaust. I've purchased used bikes that had, exhaust systems onto it, but I've never done it, and I just kind of did it on a whim. I'm fascinated by the TW. I can't help it, so I do a whole bunch of little things to it. But as far as the Ruckus goes, I think that I would just start with the variators, and I think I might have to do a CDI box. I don't know. We'll see. And this seems to be coming up on the end of our trip here. I hope the audio quality is good, because if not, I've got like 2 hours worth of, what do they call it, B-roll film. It would just be, video, no audio quality. Maybe I can put together a montage. You need a montage. Even Rocky need a montage. But I mean, that's all it would be. Hopefully this fixed it, and I can start doing some more moto vlogging, which is what I love to do. We love to do. And I hope that, like I said, I hope that fixes it, because we really enjoy making these videos. Caboose has a surprise coming up on his ride.
he may be stepping his game up for the from the XR650. Something he's been having his eyeballs on. So we'll see about that. Anyways, folks, if you wouldn't mind, please like and subscribe. I always appreciate the numbers. I love watching numbers just climb up, even if it's one a week. Really love it. And as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. All right.